Greetings everyone. How was Holi?
It was fun.
What did you all do? Anvi, how did you celebrate?
Uh, just like we celebrate Holi normally.
Okay. Avishi, you are alone today, I heard.
Yes, sir.
Nobody home.
Huh?
None of your Shivya and Radhya home.
They want a holiday. They're coming back today.
Okay. So you enjoyed in their absence or you were missing them?
Missing them.
Obviously.
Good. Yes, Samaira, how was your Holi?
Good.
Good. Mahi,
I didn't really play Holi this year.
you didn't play. Okay. Shall we start? I think a lot of people are on a holiday because of the long weekend. Did you all miss the class last week or no?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So, just a second. What have we done till now? Anybody remembers?
Last class we did the we did all about the Jagannath temple.
Yes. So, what did I did mention the story of how Lord Jagannath appeared in this world, right? In Jagannath Puri. Anyone remembers that story? Okay, I'll give you a hint. It was related to Krishna's queens at Dwarka who wanted to hear about who?
Oh yeah.
Ah,
I think then Krishna's sister's ear started shrinking, and then
why?
because she was so mesmerized by the story, and then Krishna and Balram also heard it, and they could not like wait to hear their own story. They were also very mesmerized. So they came to that spot where the sister was standing, and they started hearing their own story, and their ears and arms also started shrinking.
Yes, so in great happiness.
Yeah.
That's when Narad Muni requested them, since you are most happy in these forms, you should appear in these forms and bless everyone, and anyone who sees you should be liberated. And the Lord granted that desire. So anyone who sees Lord Jagannath is blessed and liberated. Okay, and then we also discussed the story of King Indradyumna, right? The king who wanted to see the Lord and how the Lord manifested. Do you all remember that? Did I mention?
You
no?
had not mentioned.
Okay, anyways. But briefly, you all understand how this form came into existence, right? Narad Muni had prayed. So now, there was a king of the name Indradyumna, long ago. What was the name? Indradyumna.
Okay.
Okay, just like Pradyumna. So Indradyumna. So that king was a great devotee of the Lord. Now I'm going to explain how they manifested in this world. Narada had prayed, but how they then actually came. Because the Lord always comes to this world for his devotees. What are the three reasons behind the Lord's appearance in this world? Why does the Lord incarnate? Anyone knows the three reasons? They're mentioned in the Gita.
I know two.
Yeah, tell us two.
I'm just guessing.
Yes.
To like fight off those evil asuras who are creating havoc around the world. One.
Yes.
And to fulfill the devotees' needs.
Yes, to protect the devotees, to destroy the demons, and to also establish dharma, to establish religious principles. Because without that, human civilization is not a human civilization. If there is no spiritual culture, it is considered as animal civilization. A very specifically mentioned in the Mahabharata also. So the Lord comes again and again into this world because, as you must experience, with the passage of time, things deteriorate, isn't it? Like our body is aging every day, every moment. If there is a skyscraper in your building, after a few years, it will need renovation. So things with the passage of time, they become old and then they die. So the Lord has to come again and again into this world to rejuvenate even the religious principles because they get lost with time. So the Lord comes to this world for three reasons: to protect the devotees, to destroy the demons, and to re-establish religious principles. Now, but the actual reason why the Lord comes to this world is none of these, because he can accomplish these tasks sitting in his own abode also, high up in the spiritual world. The real reason, anyone knows why does he come? What is the actual reason? He is God. Why should he need to exert himself to accomplish what he wants to? What could be the real reason? It's a very sweet reason. Ask. Ask.
Why?
Guess. Suppose, I'll give you a hint. Then it'll maybe make you think. Suppose your mother is a not suppose, your mother is a very kind, all of you have very kind mothers, isn't it? They have the softest heart. And suppose your mother takes care of many children who have no shelter. She provides them on a regular basis. Some food, some clothing, some shelter, some medicines every now and then. She sends through her staff regularly. And even if somebody has some problem, she will tell someone, okay, go look after him. Okay? Take care of that child. Now, if suppose you have any problem, suppose you are sick or you hurt yourself, would she tell someone else to take care of you, or would she come running herself?
She would come running
Running
herself
herself.
Why?
because she cares about us.
Yes, because there is so much love. So although everyone is God's child and he loves everyone, but those who are devoted to him, just like all of you, those who spend their valuable time serving him, hearing about him, and find pleasure in hearing about him, the Lord personally comes. So the only reason the Lord comes to this world is that he is attracted by the love of his devotees. When he sees his devotees are in danger, then he comes. Otherwise, for demons, he doesn't need to come. Why should he? Only for devotees, because there is love. Now, the Lord has many qualities. You know what is the greatest quality?
Love.
Love for his devotees. Bhakta Vatsal it is called. So the Lord will always manifest in this world through a devotee. So he had promised Narada that he would appear in these beautiful forms in the near future. So there was a king of the name
Indradyumna.
Indradyumna. Okay. Avishi, what is the name?
Indradyumna.
Perfect. Samaira,
Yes.
what is the name of the king? Indradyumna. Samaira, where are you from?
Kolkata.
Kolkata. Okay, all of you are from Kolkata. So hopefully I'll see you all in April if I come to
Can you
Kolkata.
repeat the name?
Pardon?
Can you repeat the king's name?
Indradyumna.
Okay.
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 So he had a great desire to see the Lord personally. So he sent one of his ministers. His name was Vishwavasu. Okay, you don't need to remember the names. He sent one of his ministers to go and find out where the Lord is residing, where he could come and see him. So this minister went all over. Finally, he came to know deep in the forest near the mountains, there is a class of aborigines, the Adivasis, the tribals, Shabaras. This class was called Shabaras. And they are worshipping some beautiful Krishna deity, the Lord's form, a Murti, in one of the caves in the mountain, up in the mountain. So he came there. But these Shabaras, this community had a rule that nobody could go and see the Lord. And only one of their leaders, he was worshipping. He would go every day, every morning, and he would worship and come back. So now this minister had been ordered by the Lord, so he had to do it. So he devised a plan. He made friendship with this leader of the community. And the leader of the community liked him so much that he married his daughter to this minister. So he got married. And he started living in the same house. Now he's developed a relationship. Now they're related. He is the son-in-law. Now the father-in-law has to listen to son-in-law, has to fulfill his request. So he requested, can you also take me to that place where you go every morning to worship someone? So he said, no, that's not possible. He requested, but since he was not related to him, he agreed. But he said, only on one condition, you will be blindfolded. You can't see the pathway to that cave. He said, agreed. So he blindfolded him and they started walking, holding his hand. But the minister was very clever. So he took some mustard seeds. And as he was walking, he kept dropping some mustard seeds behind him. You know why? Because mustard seeds, they sprout in 2-3 days. So he would know which way to go later on when he comes. And that's how he reached, and when his blindfold was opened, he saw the most beautiful deity of Krishna inside that cave, which was there since a long time. And his name was Neel Madhav. It was a blue deity of Krishna made of crystal. Extremely beautiful. And then he came back. And one fine day he said, I want to go and visit my relatives as well. So he came back with the king. The king said, it's a very interesting story. Listen very carefully. So next time when you go to Jagannath Puri, you will know. You will have a lot of excitement. So he went to the king, and the king was so happy. He rewarded him and said, let's go and see the Lord. He started walking in royal procession with his horses, elephants, his army, and they were very close to the spot. And suddenly there was a cyclone. As you keep hearing about Odisha, there are cyclones every now and then. And because of that, there was a huge devastation, including that cave, and everything was also destroyed. And when the king reached, he found nothing. The Lord was not to be seen. So he was devastated. He was so depressed. He was lamenting. He said, after such a long time, I found the Lord of my heart, but I couldn't see him. I'm so unfortunate. But then suddenly he heard a Akashvani. You know what is an Akashvani?
Yeah, that voice from the
A
sky.
voice from the sky. He said, my dear king, do not worry. This form of the Lord was supposed to be existing on this planet till this point only. Now another form of the Lord will appear through you. Another more mystical form of the Lord form will appear through you. You will become the instrument. And so go home. So on this day and at this time, when you go to the ocean, a huge log of wood would come floating to the shore. You should collect it, worship it, and you should, and Vishwakarma, you know who is Vishwakarma?
Yeah.
Who? Who is he?
He's the Dev.
He's the
Dev
architect of
Shilpi.
he's the architect of the Devtas.
Yeah.
So the Akashvani said he will personally come and he will carve the deities for you. And the same thing happened after a few days when the king actually went. He had a dream mostly, or the Akashvani said one of them was true. And he got that big log of wood, put it on a chariot in royal procession with the chanting of the mantras and with singing, dancing. It was brought to the palace. And then, inspired by the Lord, Vishwakarma descended. So King Indradyumna requested him that please carve the deities for me from this wood. So Vishwakarma made one condition. He said, I will take 21 days. And in those 21 days, nobody should disturb me. If anybody disturbs me, I will leave the work right then and there itself. King agreed. So Vishwakarma locked himself inside the room and he was carving tuck, tuck, tuck. Every moment the king could hear the sound. He was chiseling. And the king was restlessly walking back and forth outside the room. And on the 14th day, suddenly he stopped hearing any sound. So the king became anxious. He became restless. He just went and opened the door. And when he opened, Vishwakarma disappeared. And what the king saw, he was again devastated. He felt so guilty, so lost, because he was seeing the forms of the Lord, but they were unfinished. There were no ears, there were no hands, there were no legs. So he was crying, lamenting, and suddenly he heard another voice from the sky. Said, my dear king, do not worry. These are the forms which the Lord was supposed to manifest through. It was already predestined. Now please install them, worship them. And that's how these forms of the Lord, it's a long story, but that's how these forms of the Lord, earlier requested for by Narad Muni, appeared through another devotee, King Indradyumna, in this world.
So they were Lord Jagannath.
Yes. So these were the forms. And now these forms of the Lord, they are made of wood. And every sometimes 12 years, sometimes 15 years, sometimes 19 years, these forms are changed. Because wood, now after all, even though it's made of wood, but of course it is it is transcendental, it is special. So I'll just give you darshan of these three forms. Now they are covered with jewelry.
Sir, I want to ask you, what's the actual reason Lord Jagannath appeared? Like the first story where the ears and all shrunk, or this story?
No. The first story is the reason where they manifested these forms to Narad Muni when they were hearing the story. So then Narada saw these beautiful forms. This is the most happy form of the Lord and he is in a happy mood, so he will bless. So Narad Muni requested, now in future you make yourself available in these forms forever, for everyone to come and see. At that time only Narada saw. So the Lord had promised. So the Lord, therefore, after that, after a long time, then he manifested these forms literally in this world through this King Indradyumna. And since then, they have been residing in the temple at Jagannath Puri. Understood, Anvi? And after a few years, they are changed. So first time Narada saw, आप लोग हमेशा ऐसे ही इस धरती पर रहिए ताकि सबको दर्शन मिल सके इस फॉर्म के. So the Lord had promised, and through King Indradyumna, he made that arrangement, and then they manifested. And every few years, the forms are changed. Or they reside in a place called Jagannath Puri. So it's like a holiday resort of the Lord. What do you do when you go for a holiday? You go by the beach and you eat a lot.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. A lot.
You eat and you just chill by the beach. So similarly, Puri is right by the beach, and the Lord is offered 56 items in big, big vessels every day.
Yes, seen.
So huge vessels. And there are many, many stories where he has reciprocated with his devotees, countless stories. You know about Vibhishan. Vibhishan was
Yeah.
Ravana's brother. He still comes to Jagannath Puri to take his darshan every night. So there was a priest. Jagannath is one of the most active deities of the Lord in the world. So there was a priest, and he closed the temple. He was going back home. In those days, there was hardly any electricity in the town. And suddenly he could feel that there is somebody walking behind him. So he got scared. It was pitch dark. And suddenly he gathered some courage, turned around, and he saw a huge figure. His head was touching the sky. And he was blackish complexion. So he asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I am Vibhishan." He said, "Vibhishan, what are you doing here?" Because one of the 7 people who are Chiranjeev, who have long life still living, is Vibhishan. So he said, "I come here every night for the darshan of the Lord." So then they had some conversation. But he said, "But how will I make people believe like Anvi in the future that you really came?" So then Vibhishan took off one of his, what is it called, Kangan or
Kada.
Kada. He gave it to the priest. And you know what was the size of this?
A big one. A
Size of
large
size,
one.
size of the wheel of a bullock cart.
Asa. Wow. So his hands must be super big.
Huge. And that, if you want to verify, you can request, if the pandas are very kind to you, it is still kept inside the Jagannath temple and they can show it to you also secretly.
I want to ask you something.
Yes, please ask.
So why is Jagannath's complexion black and not
Krishna,
blue?
yeah, so you see, Krishna's color, sometimes is known as blackish, sometimes some bluish, but most of the deities, they are kept सांवला बोलते हैं ना भगवान को, blackish. So if you see marble deities of Krishna also, they are white and black only. So bluish थोड़ा कम जगह रहता है. We have certain temples where थोड़ा सा blue color कर देते हैं उसके ऊपर, but black is easy to recognize. It's Krishna, blackish complexion. Because most of the scriptures talk about Krishna having a dark complexion. That's why he is the real black beauty. Okay. So there was a famous dacoit of the state of Bihar. Heard about this state, Bihar? Kolkata, people are neighbors of Bihar. So there was a famous dacoit, and he wanted to steal the crown of Lord Jagannath. The crown of Lord Jagannath is extremely precious. It is invaluable. Nobody in this world have till date been able to estimate the value of the crown that he wears. It's been there in his Ratna Bhandar, in his treasury since long. Maybe donated by
Has
some.
anyone been able to see it?
Yeah, the crown. Yeah, of course. Twice, thrice a year they put it on Lord Jagannath. Rath Yatra last day also they put it when he comes back to his chariot. I mean, on his original temple. So he wanted to steal it. Now, everybody who is there in Puri, they know that when the deities are put to rest at night, the snakes from the Nagaloka, they come to protect them. And it's a fact. One British officer also had documented all this in his diary, all these details. So this dacoit, somehow he kept coming to Lord Jagannath's temple for a long time. It's a true story. And he figured out when he could just sneak inside, and at night he would stay and steal. So he had to choose the moment when the crown would be on their head. So one evening he just managed and he stayed inside. The doors were closed and he wanted to steal and run away eventually. But in the morning, when the doors were opened, guess what had happened?
What?
He was
Yes.
caught.
Pardon?
He was caught.
No,
He was punished.
his dead body was found in front of the deities, completely blue. Just like after a snake bites someone, because of the poison, the body becomes blue. So he had,
Oh.
so the snakes had bitten him to come to protect the deities. So there are many such mystical stories. Just like the temple is around 270 feet high above the ground, and the local priests tell us it has the same height below the ground also. There are 7 floors spread over an area of 1 kilometer. Huge. And in the floor which is at the bottom, that's where his treasury is stored. That's where all his jewelry and everything is kept, and it is being protected by the snakes. Anyway, so this is about Jagannath Puri. We can go on talking about him and for maybe millions of lifetimes, but we'll give you an idea about. Now there are 3 places also. The 4 dhams we are talking about. One is Jagannath Puri. You all clear about Jagannath
Dwarka
Puri?
is the second one.
So if you all want to join me, you can come to Jagannath Puri in July 2nd to 5th. Anybody wants to join, you can get your parents as well. It's the Rath Yatra time, but we are going the day after Rath Yatra so that we can witness the other ceremonies, because Rath Yatra day will be very crowded. Anyone wants to join, you're most welcome. Let me know. Okay, second is Dwarka. So Dwarka you almost know about a little bit. Who knows? Just raise your hand.
Yeah, I know.
Chaar Dham. So what do you know about Dwarka? Yes, Anvi.
Dwarka is like where Krishna's palace is, where all his queens are there, and after he defeated Kans in Mathura, he came to Dwarka and established his own kingdom.
Great. Why did he move from Mathura to Dwarka? Was Mathura not good enough?
Maybe he wanted to establish his own kingdom and maybe move somewhere else.
Oh, maybe he wanted to shift cities, right?
Yeah.
Like so many people nowadays wanting to move to Dubai.
Maybe he got bored of Mathura.
Okay. Do you all ever get bored of your city you're living in? Who gets bored of Kolkata living in?
Not really.
Mahi, which city are you from?
Calcutta itself.
You get bored? Why?
Because I've practically done everything. There's nothing really exciting to do anymore.
Where do you want to move?
Somewhere either in the beach or the mountains.
Okay, you can go to Puri then,
I
Jagannath.
want to go abroad.
Where?
Korea or France.
Achha. I'll tell the prime ministers of those countries.
Excuse me, Prabhuji.
Hanji, who is this?
You're going to Jagannath Puri for how many days?
Who is this? I can't see you.
It's Nimahi.
Mahi.
Yeah.
3-4 days, 3-4 nights.
Thank you.
Okay, so now Dwarka. Anybody else knows about Dwarka a little bit also?
It's located in the western India.
Western side. It
That's
is in the
correct.
middle of the King Krishna's kingdom was in the middle of the ocean. Now, why did Krishna establish Dwarka? Yes, Dwarka is his eternal home, and he was living in Mathura. So there was a king of the name Jarasandh. Remember the names? What was the name of the king who brought Lord Jagannath into this world?
Indradyumna.
Indradyumna. Avishi, what was the name?
Indradyumna. I forgot the next part.
Dumna.
Okay.
Okay, Indradyumna. Okay. ठीक है. So there was a king of the name Jarasandh, very demonic. He was the father-in-law of Kansa. So after Krishna killed Kansa, so Kansa's two wives, Asti and Prapti. Remember the names. What were the names of Kansa's queens?
Asti and Prapti.
They went running, crying to their father. Jarasandh got so angry. He attacked.
Why?
Because his brother-in-law had been killed, na? Kansa-
Brother-in-law, who's his brother?
Sorry, son-in-law had been killed by Krishna.
Asti and Prapti's father.
Yes. So
And
wait. Asti and Prapti were Jarasandh's daughters who were married to Kansa.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So Krishna killed Kansa. They became widows. They went home running, crying. So Jarasandh got so angry, he attacked Mathura. You know how much army he brought to attack Mathura?
10,000 troops.
21 Akshauni.
Yeah, I know what that means. Large elephants.
Yeah, so in the entire Mahabharat war,
Yeah, I know. Pandavas had 7 and Kauravas had 11.
11 Akshani. The total was 18.
Yeah.
And Jarasandh brought 21 Akshani. One Akshani is, you can Google, one Akshani.
Yeah, I've read in the Gita a little bit.
So one Akshani is equal to 1 lakh foot soldiers, 21,600 odd chariot fighters,
So we got 21 lakh soldiers.
21,000 odd 600 odd horse soldiers, 65,000 horse soldiers, 21,000 elephants, and 21,000 chariot fighters. So that's one Akshani. Multiply that by 21.
Wow.
Again and again and again he was attacking. And again Krishna single-handedly would destroy everyone. He would capture Jarasandh and he would let him go. You know why was he letting him go?
Because he was innocent.
No, because Krishna knew he would do home delivery.
Meaning?
So one of the reasons Krishna comes to this world is to destroy the demons. So Krishna knew.
Jarasandh was a demon.
Yes.
Oh.
So Krishna knew that every time I leave Jarasandh, he would go back and gather more such people to attack Mathura like him. So it was, instead of me going to kill them, they are being delivered at home. So it's much easier, na? Isn't it? So Krishna introduced Amazon much earlier. His technologies, his technology was the first one. He was the first one to use this. So he brought 21 Akshani 18 times. Each time he would be defeated by Krishna single-handedly, and he would go back, bring more army. Now when he attacked 18th time, so at that time, few things were happening. There was another king who was planning to attack Mathura. His name was Kal Yavan. And he had received a benediction from Lord Shiva that at least once in his lifetime, he would be able to scare the residents of Mathura, Yadus, because he had some enmity with them. He had some issue with them. And Lord Shiva had blessed him. So Kal Yavan was also planning to attack Mathura. Jarasandh was also planning to attack Mathura. And at the same time, Krishna, who knows everything, he knew his future wife, Rukmini, was also planning to send him a message. And for Krishna, attending to
Rukmini was one of Krishna's queens.
Yes, in Dwarka. So
how did he choose from so many queens, Rukmini?
I'll come to that. We'll come to that slowly. So for Krishna to attend to his devotees' call is more important than killing the demons. So what he did, 18th time when Jarasandh attacked, Krishna thought, okay, Kal Yavan is also attacking. He has Shiva's blessing. So he would scare the the residents of Mathura, the Yadus. So in order to avoid this situation, he didn't want to trouble them. It's not that he couldn't have killed Jarasandh, but he wanted to make sure they don't get scared. Overnight when they were sleeping, he ordered Vishwakarma to erect the city of Dwarka, and he overnight they were shifted to Dwarka. So at night they slept in Mathura, but when they woke up, they were in Dwarka. Imagine, imagine, Anvi, you sleep in Kolkata and next morning you wake up in France. On top of the Eiffel Tower. Okay, so that's how this whole city of Dwarka was constructed by Krishna, and that's how Krishna was given the name Dwarkadhish, the king of Dwarka. So this is one of the 4 dhams, Chaar Dhams. Krishna resided there with his queens, and he had so many queens there, one after the other. They all approved. Yes, I can see somebody's hand. What's your name?
How did he reach the other place when he was sleeping?
Pardon? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
How did he reach the other place when he was sleeping?
Who?
Krishna.
No. Krishna shifted all of them. God can do anything. He had those mystic powers. So when they were sleeping, he transported them from one place to the other. So they woke up in a different city because he wanted to protect them.
Oh.
This story comes in the Srimad Bhagavatam, where all other stories are also found.
So now, can you tell me from so many queens, why did he only choose Rukmini?
No. He married many.
He just married 2, Rukmini and one.
No.
I
In
don't.
Dwarka, Krishna had 16,108 queens.
Yeah, so they were all his wives.
So out of those 16,100, how did they marry? So none of these queens were approached by Krishna. So people might think, he married so many, I can also do. No, none of these girls were approached by Krishna. They approached Krishna for marriage, and as God, it is his duty to give shelter to everyone. As he has explained in the Gita, with whatever intention you approach me, I will reward you accordingly. If
But
somebody
everyone recognizes Rukmini as his wife only.
Yes. So she's one of the wives. She was the principal queen in Dwarka. So if somebody wants to be playing the role of Krishna's mother and father, Krishna rewards that. Somebody wants to be a gopi, Krishna will reward that. Somebody wants to be a queen, Krishna will give you that reward also. Somebody wants to be Krishna's friend, he will reciprocate accordingly. So with whatever intention you approach, you want Krishna to be your friend, he will behave with you like a friend. Like that. And he likes that friendly kind of dealing. So 16,108, out of those 16,100 queens that he married. So they were different princesses from different parts of the world, and they were held captive by a demon named Narakasur. Bhaumasur Narakasur was the name, and he had abducted them. He had abducted them and kept them as his captive inside his palace, and they were always praying to Krishna to come and save them. So Krishna saved them. He killed that demon Narakasur, and these girls requested that nobody will accept us now. Can you please accept us, make us your wives? That's how Krishna got these 16,100 queens. Krishna protected them, gave them shelter. The other 8 queens, they were married on different occasions by Krishna. So what were the names of Krishna's principal 8 queens? Rukmini, Satyabhama.
That only after Rukmini.
Rukmini was the principal queen. Satyabhama, Nagnajitti, Kalindi, Padmavati, and can someone Google?
Yeah, sir.
Jambavati, Viprachitti, something like there are 8 queens.
Sir, Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Nagnajiti, Kaldi, Mitra
Mitra, yes.
Bhadra and Lakshmana.
Bhadra and Lakshmana. So these were the 8 queens, and there were 3,100 more. So
Yeah.
Krishna is, so wherever the Lord, what is a holy place? What makes these Chaar Dhams so special? Because whichever place the Lord steps into becomes a holy place. That's how they become Dham. Like we have stepped into so many places. Like Avishi, you must have gone to so many restaurants, your school. Like we have gone to so many places. They don't become Dham. They don't become holy places. Of course, you all are devotees, so wherever you go, that also uh, is special. But what makes these places special? Why are they so special? Char Dham, why people run to these places? Because the Lord has touched these places. So whatever the Lord touches, that becomes holy. For example, there are so many flowers in the market, but when you're going to a temple, why are you so eager to get that one flower from the altar, which is lying at the Lord's feet? Because it has become holy now. It has,
Because it's touched by. So if the Lord touches our head, then thousands of people will wait to touch our head or something.
of course, it becomes holy. Whatever the Lord. So these places the Lord has resided, He has visited. Therefore, these places have become so sacred that now if you go to these places, you will get immense blessings. It is said when you visit the holy places, many, many lifetimes of sins are destroyed simply by stepping into these places. That's the kind of power they have. Yes, Anvi.
Sir, I have a question that if Krishna was agreeing to all his devotees' requests, like the women who wanted to be the Krishna's queens and his wives, he listened to their requests and made them his queens and wives. Then, if Radha was so fond of Krishna, then why didn't she also want to be the queen and the wife?
You see, I did answer this last time. In Vrindavan, Krishna plays different roles at different places. In Vrindavan, he's a simple cowherd boy, and Radharani plays a simple cowherd girl. So you have to understand, we can't look at these leelas of the Lord from a mundane perspective. That's why they are called leelas. What we do is called karma. What the Lord does is called leela. Leela means it is meant to teach us something, and it is meant for the enjoyment of the participants in that drama. So in Vrindavan, Krishna is a cowherd boy, a playful boy, and Radharani plays a cowherd girl. In Dwarka, Krishna is a queen, is a king, and he needs a queen. So Radharani becomes Satyabhama in Dwarka. And there was another
Why
gopi.
not Rukmini?
There was another name of the gopi of the name Chandravali. She becomes Rukmini in Dwarka. So these are the.
But why didn't Radha became the principal wife?
See, as queen, she had to be very submissive. So Radharani controls Krishna. And the other gopi, Chandravali, she is very submissive to Krishna. So therefore in Dwarka, if you see Satyabhama, who was none other than an expansion of Radharani, she was always very controlling. She would order Krishna, she would chastise him out of love. And Rukmini was always very submissive. So depending on the roles that they need to play, these same devotees of the Lord can appear in different places, and they play those roles very well to help the Lord, to give him happiness. So this is Dwarka. Clear? Why the
Yes,
place is so
sir.
holy? Because the Lord has stayed there. He has stepped into that place to become holy. Any place the Lord has stepped into is a holy. India has countless holy places. Now let's go to Rameshwaram. What is this place famous for? Who
For
knows?
Lord Ram.
Yeah, but what else?
I don't know.
Anyone? Rameshwaram. It's in the south.
Yeah, it's in the Andhra Pradesh district.
No. It is almost the southernmost tip of India.
Oh, so it's like Kerala and all.
Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu.
Yes, I'll give you some idea about the maybe.
Rameshwaram is a city, right?
Yeah, you can say. So I'll just give you it's the southernmost tip of India, and Rameshwaram. So in simple language, Rameshwaram means,
Ram is the god.
yeah, so people interpret it in a different way, but it actually means Ram Yasya Ishwaram. Ram jiske Ishwar hain. What can you all see on the screen? Okay, I'll show you Rameshwaram, the southernmost tip of India.
This is Rameshwaram.
Yes, this is the ocean, na? Southernmost
Yeah,
tip.
this is. I've seen
So,
this.
so
But can I see that is there a temple?
yeah, so that's next on your screen. Okay. So this is now what happened here when Lord Ramachandra had to cross to the other side to Lanka. So now he is acting as a human being, right? Lord Ramachandra appeared as an ideal human being. It's not that he couldn't have crossed the ocean using his powers, but he's acting as a human being. So he is playing the role of an ordinary human being, and Lord Shiva is very powerful, worshipable personality. So he was advised to worship Lord Shiva to get some help, to get some guidance as to how they could cross the ocean. So this is the place where Lord Ramachandra, he made a shivling. You know what is a shivling? In the temples we worship now. Everybody knows what's a shivling?
No, sir.
No one knows what shivling पता नहीं है किसी को क्या होता
Sir,
है?
I know.
Have you all ever been to
Sir, I know what is a
a
Shiva.
Shiva temple? कभी कोई गया है?
No, I've never been to Shiva temple, but I know what is Shiva.
ठीक है, मैं just दिखा देता हूँ आप लोगों को.
It's like a black rock. It's like this. And that we make those lines with white color, and there's like a thing with red color.
क्या बात है? You to gave the exact description of what I am going to show now.
I've seen it on Google.
Right now?
No, before also.
This one. This is a shivling. Now can you all recognize?
Yes.
Okay. So Lord Shiva made
I've seen this.
So Lord Ramachandra made a shivling out of sand and he worshipped. So it is said that the same shivling is still residing there, and that's how it has become a holy place. So Lord Ramachandra, because he stepped into that land, that place also became holy. So Rameshwaram means Ram Yasya Ishwaram. Ram jiske Ishwar hain. That place is called Rameshwaram because Lord Shiva is there, and his worshipable form of the Lord is he worships Lord Ramachandra. So the place of Lord Shiva, yeah, Ramachandra, Ram jiske Ishwar hai, Ram Yasya Ishwaram is Rameshwaram. And now the fourth place left is
Dwarka. No, Dwarka is done.
Guess. Badrinath.
Badrinath.
Okay. Anyone knows anything about Badrinath?
No.
Why is he known as Lord Badrinath? Okay, who is there at Badrinath? Which?
Lord Krishna.
Yeah, Lord Vishnu, Chaturbhuj form. Yes, Krishna only. So.
Sir, Lord Krishna is greater than Lord Rama, right?
Yes, we have discussed that earlier. So this is the beautiful Badrika Ashram, Badrinath, where the famous ancient deity of Lord Vishnu is there in his four-handed form. Now, why is it known as Badrinath? Now, you know, Lord Vishnu is in charge of the maintenance of the universe, right? Whenever there is a need, he sends incarnations. So once there was some demon was troubling a lot, and the Lord wanted to meditate on some solutions that he could come up with to make people's lives better, right? How he could protect them from future suffering, especially Kali Yuga, when Kali Yuga was coming, in which people suffer a lot, especially due to their mental state. So when you want to meditate, or when you want to contemplate something, when you want to think about something, then you need a quiet place, isn't it?
Yeah.
You need a quiet, secluded corner of the house. So he came to this place when he was looking for a place where he could come and sit and think about some solutions. He came and sat here, and he went deep into meditation at this spot.
For how many days?
So for long, but then Mother Lakshmi, who is his wife, she didn't find her husband in Vaikuntha. She was wondering, what is happening? Where is my husband gone? He has not come back home. Let me call him up in the office. But then she realized she doesn't have a phone. But if she had a phone, she didn't have the number. So anyway, so Mother Lakshmi, she asked Narad Muni, where is he? Have you seen my Lord? He said, yeah, he's doing some tapasya in this area of the Himalayas. So when Mother Lakshmi came here, she saw the Lord was sitting on top of this mountain here, right exactly at this spot. And he was deep in meditation, and he was totally unaware of the changing seasons. He was exposed to all kinds of weather, heat, cold, rain, snow.
He thought for so many days.
Yes, so he was just deep in meditation. So Mother Lakshmi, she's a wife, so she couldn't see this. She took the form of a tree to give him shade, to give him shelter, to shade him from all kinds of weather, heat and cold, especially the rains and heat. And she took the form of a special tree called bear. Bear. You know what is bear?
Yeah.
Bear in Sanskrit is known as Badri. So, and when the Lord actually came out of meditation,
So means the Lord is the Lord is the Lord of the form that Mother Lakshmi took.
okay, so the Mother Lakshmi became Badri tree, and the Lord is the Lord Vishnu is the Lord of Lakshmi.
Yeah.
So he is known as Badrinath, the Lord of Badri, the Mother Lakshmi. So Nath means the Lord or the Master.
Yeah.
So that's how he became famous as Badrinath. And then the Lord declared, he was so happy with Mother Lakshmi's seva that he declared that I am so pleased with you. You stood in the sun and shaded me from the sunlight. So I'm so happy that from today, your name will be chanted first, then my name. Your name will be chanted before my name. And since then, you see, we chant Lakshmi Narayan, Sita Ram, Radha Krishna.
Oh.
Because the Lord was very happy with the service, and that's how this the Lord started residing here. And up to a certain point, the Lord was personally living here. But when Kali Yuga came, people started becoming very sinful. So he took the form of the deity which is found inside the temple. And that's how thousands and lakhs of pilgrims visit every summer. So 6 months you have access to this temple because it's in the Himalayas, below the Himalayas. You have to go like 10 hours of drive towards the Himalayas. And so 6 months it's closed and 6 months it's open to the general public because 6 months it's covered with snow. So the arrangement that was made in the beginning itself, why is it covered with snow? The Devatas wanted to worship the Lord also. So the Lord made an arrangement, all right, 6 months you all can worship, 6 months other humans would be allowed to worship. So only 6 months of the year, the doors to this temple are open and we can visit, otherwise it's blocked. It's totally covered with snow. I can show you that image. I think I had.
So I want to tell. So can I leave because I have to go?
Yes, we are done. We are done. Anybody wants to leave? We are done. Any questions now? Now I can show you Badrinath covered with snow.
Now you after you show Badrinath, you can show us the homework.
Just see this.
Wow.
Badrinath. How many of you would like to visit?
I generally don't like cold places, but I would like to visit.
No, at this time of the year, it wouldn't be cold. That's
Yeah,
so
I
many.
like to.
Avishi, you want to go?
Yes.
When?
Same.
We will plan soon. I must take you all to these places and tell you the stories sitting
I
there.
want to go to Jagannath Puri once again. I really liked it there.
Now you go, you will have a lot more excitement
Yeah.
since you know the story. If you all want to come, you can come in July. And one day I'll take all of you with your parents to these places
And take us to Dwarka. I've never been to
and
Dwarka.
tell you all the stories at those very spots.
What was the third place? Jagannath Puri, Badrinath, Dwarka, and Rameshwaram.
Rameshwaram.
Yeah.
All right. So we are done with the Chaar Dhams. So hope you all understood the significance now, why they are so special.
Yes.
Once in a while, you all must try and plan your holidays to these places also to get blessings, because ultimately life is about two things: hard work and grace, blessings. And blessings can change everything and anything. Okay, so next week, say, I will start the Dashavatarka stories.
Okay.
We'll discuss in detail,
Yeah.
and that's all. Any questions?
No.
Anyone?
Can you repeat the
You have to give us the homework.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Can you repeat the king's name?
Which king?
Indradyumna. Indradyumna.
Indradyumna. Okay, what was the name of Kamsa's son-in-law?
Oh, God. I forgot.
What were the names? What are the names of his daughters? Jarasandh was the name of the king.
Yeah.
What were the names of his daughters?
Asti. One was Asti, right?
Asti
Asti.
and Prapti. Prasti. Asti and Prasti.
Asti and Prapti. Yeah, that's easy to remember. Asti and Prapti doesn't even much.
Hmm.
So you have to give us the
Are you all memorizing the verses? किसी ने याद किया है कि नहीं? Homework देने का फायदा क्या फिर?
I like the other homework, research wala. Can you give us some homework, please?
Oh,
ठीक है.
Yeah.
Can I put it up on the chat?
Yeah.
Let me think about it.
but this week you didn't give us any homework.
So you enjoyed, huh?
Yes.
ठीक है. I'll put it up on this chat. You all stay in touch. Okay?
Some easy homework, very easy.
So when are you sending us the books curated by you?
Ask Shivya's and Radhya's mother and all. She hasn't sent me the addresses. I'm just waiting.
Okay.
They are chilling, enjoying holidays. So Avishi, when they come, ask them, when are you sending the addresses? Because if I get the addresses, in the next week, I'll send all the books.
Okay, so.
All right. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.